we are on my testimony together with Mr. Lee Karuri. Inspiring testimony already. There's a lot of response coming through. There are people who know him. And they're wondering, so Lee is born again. You know, so they're really connecting. So here you are. You have gone to that name of that school.
Yes.
Challenges me in terms of
primary school.
Uhoine,
in Tetu.
Primary school in Tetu. So you were targeting to go to Alliance High School.
Yes.
Tell us what happened.
Yes. I was targeting to go to Alliance High School, and the headmaster that time was my uncle.
Yes.
And he was very keen on education. He's called Mwalimu.
Yes.
Gitonga Guyo.
Okay.
And he inspired us as students. I would say among the people who have inspired us over time, he's one of them. Because he was very committed to the future of young people, and he kept telling us, work hard, you can be anybody you want to be. And out of his help and inspiration and personal hard work, because I really wanted to go to Alliance High School.
Yes.
I was able to do very well. I actually got 36 points in that school, which is the maximum points you could get during the exam.
CPE?
CPE. So I got
you got everything?
I got 3 A's.
So according to nowadays, you put a 500 over 500.
And it was, and it was a village school.
Wow.
So I was admitted.
To Alliance.
But I was reading hard even at night with a little lantern.
Yes.
The one
for a boy.
Yes. With the paraffin.
Yes.
That is what my grandma gave me. He said, you know, here there is no power, there is no, even the lamp.
Yes.
No,
it was not there.
No. Use the little one with paraffin. This is with paraffin, this is your bed.
I'll make sure from school you go graze in the forest.
Yes, come read. So I used to read with that, and it's very hard to read with it at night.
That's right.
But my grandmother was very supportive, very encouraging, and reading late into the evenings and into the night, I was committed. And these things have no shortcut. You have to work hard. Eventually got to Alliance High School, and I was able to be there for 6 years. I did my first for O-level.
Yes.
I did well, and then continued for the next 2 years to up to Form 6.
Okay.
And when I was in Form 6, the wisdom of the school administration, they asked me to be the school captain.
Yes.
In my final year.
Okay.
Yeah, so that was that I would say was my first opportunity for leadership. I actually wasn't aware that I was a leader.
A leader. Uliambiwa wewe.
It is, they said, no, try this one. We think you can make it.
They saw it in you.
Yeah, so God gave me the first opportunity to lead the students.
Okay.
And it was a busy year because I had to do my exams and also lead the students as the school captain. So during my days at Alliance, they also formed a lot of my foundation. Because I met students from across the entire country.
Oh, yes.
I got a national feel and found that I made friends from every community. I was able to relate with people from everywhere. And that broke a lot of mental barriers and perceptions. And I realized every Kenyan is a valuable person. And you can be a friend to anyone. So I was able to bring into my life friendships across the entire divide. And that has helped me up to this day.
Okay.
Because I see everyone as a friend and a genuine, because I know they were my brothers. We went to school, we used to play together.
Yes.
There's no difference. And when I hear people talking about somebody from that region and that region, is a total mindset problem. Yeah, because it's maybe lack of exposure and interacting with other people.
I like that.
I like that.
Yeah.
Lack of exposure.
Yeah, it's really a lack of,
it's like Robert before he saw me. This guy, he just thought, this guy's from the Rift Valley. Yes. So when he saw me, he thought, this guy is also good.
I was able to learn through my high school that Kenyan people are very good people from across the entire country.
Wow. Amazing.
Yeah, incredible people. And it is so wonderful to have friends from across this nation.
Okay.
So that was a part of my early belief. And Eventually did well in high school and went to University of Nairobi.
Okay.
That's where I was admitted to study architecture. Incidentally, how I got into architecture, I always wanted to be an engineer, but I was not convinced that that is really the area I would enjoy. But that is the only area that a science student, I was a science student, would end up engineering, natural. But while we were in Form 5, the chairman of the University of Nairobi, Department of Architecture, came to give a career talk to the students. And you know, the school used to invite experts to give career talks. And when he talked about architecture and designing buildings and thinking about creativity, I said, this is what I want to do.
Wow.
Yeah, so you can see that is a mentoring talk.
That's
this person
right.
came all the way.
Do you know that is a very important point you highlighted?
Yes, yes.
Going back to schools and giving career talks.
Yes, true. It's key,
It's you can see it affected his career choice at that point.
That's how I decided. This talk affects me directly because if that man didn't come over,
You would have still
gone
probably be
another
an
way.
engineer.
Yes,
Your creativity
yes.
would not have
come out.
Yes.
Because I used to be an art student. I also used to paint. I used to enjoy painting. So painting was a skill I had that I could paint. So I found that if I combined science and art, it became a bit of architecture. So I said, this is what I will choose. And I was grateful that he was able to come. And I made the choice, and I was admitted to the School of Architecture to do a Bachelor of Architecture. And I was in the University of Nairobi for 5 years.
5 years, okay.
But at the point I was joining the university, I was 20 years old.
Okay.
And that is the year my father passed on. It was a very defining moment for us as a family. And losing my father, I was the third born. The first born in our family was adopted. A cousin is my brother.
Yes.
But that's how he came into the family. And then my sister and my late sister, she went to be with the Lord. And then myself. And then we have all the other members of the family. So we were the ones who were responsible with our mom, yes, to define the way. And it changed our lives in a mighty way. You know, to lose your dad when you are young, and you have many siblings, it brought a sense of responsibility in us immediately, because we had to think about our future without a dad, the future of our siblings, the young ones who are even in primary school, think about them, and know that we have got to be responsible. The time for playing and joking is gone.
Yes.
Yes.
serious moments.
Yes, those are serious moments. And at that point we had to relocate to Nanyuki. My father and mom had bought a piece of land in Nanyuki, and that's when the family went to start a new life.
Okay.
Totally new life. My mother went to teach in a village school in Nanyuki area, and all our family settled there. So eventually Nanyuki now became our adopted homeland.
Yes.
Up to this day, it's our home. We consider now Nanyuki is home to all of us. And going into the university with that, I knew that I had to study and do well.
Yes.
Because now I have to also think of providing for my siblings, assisting my mom, plus my other brothers and sisters also would support.
Okay.
But you go into the university with a mindset of a responsible older brother. And that's what happened.
Okay. So you were in the university for 5 years?
5 years.
Tell us what happened after that.
Now, maybe I could just mention something while in the university, is that I decided to get, to use my time well. During the school holidays, most students used to go and rest. But I and a friend of mine decided that we'll open a small business. Yes, to supplement our income. Okay. And also assist our siblings. Now the small business was to go and take up, that was when I was in my fourth year and fifth year, taking up assignments from existing firms of architects in town and supporting them to do models
Okay.
Whenever they were doing presentations to their clients, they needed models of the buildings. We created the art and speciality of doing excellent models. We went and marketed them to practicing architects in the city.
Okay.
While the students are resting,
You are already...
I go marketing with my friend. And eventually we started getting work. Yes, we started getting work, and we used to charge a decent fee, and they became our clients while we were in the university. So we started getting quite a lot of work during the holidays. We teamed up with my friend and created a small company, not fully registered, but organized, and we employed other students.
Oh.
Yes, and we gave them very good pay during the holidays.
Amazing.
I used to employ the students from the lower years.
First year, second year, third year.
Yes. So every holiday they knew that we had good work to do.
Yes.
We would, and then I went to the university, negotiated a room to use it as an office during the holidays.
Okay.
So when the students were sleeping, we employed others, and we did a lot of work. By the end of the 4th year, I bought a car.
Oh.
Yes.
Amazing.
Because now I had to be able to move around and meet my clients.
And then buying a car.
Need rose that high that you bought a car.
Yeah, I used
You
to
couldn't handle business without a car.
Yeah, because of urgent meetings with the clients. My clients.
And here you are in campus, still a student.
Yes.
You are a student and employer.
This is when 70s, eh?
No, 1988.
1988. Wow.
So it was a Citron.
Oh,
So
you bought a Citron.
which became very useful for further marketing and enhancing my business activities.
Okay.
And my colleague, now we could travel and market our activities, and also be able to carry the models to our clients.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
So,
Yes.
and I was given a car park now by the university.
Where?
Yeah, because
You actually are.
Hey, Mr. Lee.
yeah. So, and I was able to use that vehicle into 5th year, graduated, and continued using it even into early work life. So after the university, I was employed for 3.5 years. I worked for firms of architects, reputable companies. In fact, the firm who used to be my client are the ones who gave me the first job. Yes, they were so happy with the work we used to do. They told me, whenever you finish the university, come over.
Amazing.
So I got my job by virtue of the services I provided.
Wow.
Yes.
That's a heavy point to learn right there.
Yes, because I was already interacting. So worked there and got experience, and eventually my desire was always to start my own practice. So even during the time we were working, I was learning how to be a professional. I was learning how to run an office under the apprenticeship of those who have been asked before. They were reputable companies, very well organized. And I would advise that if somebody has an opportunity to work in an organized company before you start your own business, is very important. Because you're able to pick up
A few lessons.
The lessons and the approach to life, the discipline of working, waking up very early morning, delivering assignments that are difficult, working late when it is necessary, and the discipline of ensuring that you work hard. So all that you're able to capture in a work environment, and relating to work with other people. So that was a big lesson for me, and for 3.5 years was able to work in those two companies. The first company worked for 2 years, and then they didn't have much work. That's where I first went. They said, you know, if you get another job, we are low on work, please. And I looked for another job, moved on. And where I went, I worked for another 1.5 years. But then in the January 1994, we started our first company out of employment. So I resigned and retired officially from employment in 1993 in November. So I did a letter of resignation. They persuaded me to stay on, but my desire was to move on in life and build an architectural practice, and I built my life because I always had a desire to also work for myself and with other people. So we teamed up with a friend of mine who we were classmates in the university. We also worked together in my first job. called Chema Katua. He was we founded Dimensions Architects and Interior Designers 21 years ago. That is when we went into business.
Yes.
And we started looking for clients. And those days were very hard. From January 1994, when we set out to look for work,
Yes.
it was hard. At that time, the Kenyan economy was very low. We generally, in the 1990s, the economy in Kenya was low. So it was a long struggle in the first few years. And my wife was working. So we had reached a point where I had to ask her for support now to be able to have fuel to move around because the work environment and the business environment was very challenging. So we sat with my partner. The struggles were much, but we said we better let's look out of the country for work because there was very little work around for architects and particularly a young firm like ours.
Oh yeah.
So we came across a friend who was another architect in Uganda and told us that if you want to try out some work in Uganda, please come over and we can partner and do something. So we started commuting to Uganda in 1995, looking for work there. We were going by a Kamba bus.
Oh my.
Overnight. Through Eldoret.
Oh, that's a long time.
Yes. I was a frequent traveler in town. You know where the Akaba
I know how
bus.
knew my
Yes. With my partner. Because we could not afford airfare at that time. The business was young and low. And we got used to a Kamba bus. Over to Uganda, you reach in the morning. When you reach in the morning, you don't sleep. You just freshen up and go to work to present and to look for clients. And eventually we started establishing ourselves in Uganda. And we got some good work in Uganda. This architect, who was our friend, was able to receive us and we did a very good job together. Unfortunately, when we were paid the first fee note in Uganda, it came through his hands and he used all the money. Yes. When we went to collect the money after 6 months of hard work, he said unfortunately he had used it all. It was a bad experience. Without apology, yes.
And that was it.
Yes.
I wish do you know, Lee, you're so soft to say, but yeah, it was a bad experience. You know, it was a bad experience.
We returned to Nairobi without a coin.
God. After 6 months.
Yes, of work in Uganda. And this man, non-apologetic, and we went and made an appeal to the client, whoever gave him the job. He's the one who had gotten this job. We went and made an appeal and said, you know, we were brought here by our friend, Mr. So-and-so. We have lost all the money. We have worked in Uganda for 6 months with nothing to return. Our families at home have nothing. So the board of directors, when we made the appeal, was so touched by the experience we went through. They fired that architect, and we were made the architects.
Hold it right there. We will be coming. By the way, there are more interesting stories that you need to hear about Lee and just his growth into business and where he is right now. Where he is right now is a totally different story and ball game. We'll be coming back in a short while. Now there were architects in Uganda. Interesting. Don't go away. This is Tukuza.